It's back, it's back! It's Books! In all seriousness, I'm very excited to be unboxing another Books product. How long has it been? A year, 2 years?
3.
It feels like forever. I was so happy just saying their name, and now they're here with the Books Palma 2 Pro. It's a phone, asterisk, not really. Don't worry, I'll explain everything. Basically, it's an e-paper phone-sized device, and we got a white and a black one. Which one should I do first?
White.
Chess rules, Bobby Fischer. Okay. Ooh, a nice like orange. Ah, why did I do that? It's like I've never unboxed something before. Okay, so we got the phone right there. What else is in the box? A little paper, a little explainer. Got a SIM card removal tool. Oh, because this is a phone, right? No, stay with me. USB-C to A cable. That's an interesting choice. That's 3.5 feet. And that's it? That's it, that's in the actual phone box. No charger, no anything, because it's like, maybe that's why they gave the USB-A cable, because you can plug that into anything. All right, let's look at the phone and we will cover that stuff in a second.
The device?
Yeah, you keep calling it a phone.
Because look at it looks like a phone, but it's not a phone. And now the reason why, I'll just tell you right now. The reason why it's a phone but not a phone is because it has a SIM card slot. You can put a SIM card in there, but you can only use data. You can't use it for phone calls or for texting via SMS or MMS or RCS or whatever the kids are using these days. But that leads me to ask many questions about why we have a phone-sized device that can do data. You can go out there and have data on the go like a phone. You just can't call people. And I have a theory. I have a theory for why that is, but first let's look at the phone itself. So we got the 6.13 inch e-paper display. On the back, we've got this, ooh, like a nice texture. What is going on there? It's got like a, I think that's meant to kind of like evoke paper. It's more bumpy than paper, obviously, but like at a glance, it kind of looks like paper. I like it, I don't know. It's like a, I don't know what you would, it's some kind of polymer. That is a 16 megapixel camera, and it is very, very tiny, and I think that's to signal to you that you probably shouldn't be using it. On the top, we just have a mic. On the right side, we have the power button, which is also a fingerprint reader. On the bottom, we have a USB-C port and a speaker grill and a mic, and the combo SIM card / micro SD card slot. And on the left side, we have the volume rocker and another button that I would know if I looked at the quick start guide, but I didn't. Customizable function button, okay. We got a light sensor on the front here and a speaker. By all accounts, this certainly appears to be a phone. Now, before we get too deep into actually using this thing, as you can see, it appears to be running Android, and it is, Android 15. Real quick, there's some other things here. We've got the InkSense Plus, which is Books's stylus. I guess it's not, I don't know if they want me to call it a stylus or not, and frankly, I don't care. Oh wow, okay, this is an interesting design. We've got a USB-C port along the body of the pen there, and maybe an LED or a reset pin, I'm not sure. On the other side, we've got a button, and then tips, which are replaceable, as evidenced by the box of replacement tips. Does it work just like out of the box? Can I do stuff with it? Or, I mean, we'll find out. I'll use that in a second. That's the InkSense Plus. And then we got a cover. Ooh, this is kind of a nice fancy cover. What? Oh, interesting. It comes with, okay, so it's got a case in it that has, oh, I like that. And it has, this is magnetic. Something was sticking to it. So it's a plastic case with a magnet ring on it, and then a cover for the screen that wraps around the back and connects to the front again.
So you would take off the flap and then open up the main book without taking it all off.
You'd do that. I don't know if I like that. I'm trying to think if I'm like misunderstanding, but I don't think I am. I think this is just kind of a wonky. Hey, it's original. I don't love how that looks when you flip it around and it's all like done up properly. I want it to be level. It doesn't matter at all. But you know, as long as we're talking about nice aesthetics and like design and stuff. And then I'm guessing that this also has a magnet here, so you could attach that to something? Probably. I mean, I'll give them originality points for sure. And like, you know, it's like a kind of a leatherette covering. I don't know if it's leatherette, it's leather something. It's meant to kind of feel like leather. It's just like dangling. Look, hey, Books, you know I love you. Okay, real quick, what does the black one look like? It's probably like the same thing, but black. Yep. But that is like nice and sleek. I don't know, I kind of like the two-tone nature of this one, where you kind of got the lighter back and then the sides are like a slightly different color. That looks sleek. That is like this guy. Ooh, this guy reads a lot of books. He probably has self-helped himself so many times. Anyway, I'm gonna stick with the white one though.
But Riley, what about the sponsor?
Saley, when you're out traveling, it is important to stay connected with people back home. However, doing that can come with expensive roaming fees. Thankfully, Saley offers an affordable eSIM that works in over 200 different countries. Oh, they didn't put them there, did they? And if you're traveling to multiple countries, Saley offers global and regional plans. It's compatible with iOS and Android devices, and once you install the Saley app, it's easy to connect. There's no need to wait in line at the airport just to get a phone plan. Come on. Plus, they offer 24/7 chat support and full refunds if your device isn't compatible. Get a 15% discount on Saley data plans. Use code ShortCircuit at checkout. Download the Saley app or go to saley.com/ShortCircuit.
Okay, now I'll say that I do not have experience with the previous Books Palma devices. This is my first kind of go at checking out their phone-sized things, but I hear that people like them. They're often put forward as one of the pretty good options for a small e-paper, you know, e-reader type device. I feel like this is a bit bright for you, Andrew, and I'm sensitive to your needs. There's dual backlight control. So this is like the strength of the backlight. This is brightness. And then this is temperature. So you can have cool temperature or warm temperature. I like that. This is nice. There's been other devices where the two sliders are, one is like a warm backlight and the other one is a blue backlight, and you have to like choose, you have to mix them and match them how you want. But I think I like this better, where I'm like, okay, I'm in a dark room, so I know I want it a bit, wait, it's e-paper. It's not a regular display. Whatever, you get it. And you'll notice that I just dragged down from the top and we got into quick settings, just like a normal Android device, because this is an Android device. It's running Android 15, obviously with Books' own kind of skin on here, which overall does not offend me. I like the minimalist design. It works well with the e-paper display, which is a Kaleido 3 color e-paper display, which apparently has one of its big selling points that it reduces blue light. It's less toxic for your eyes or something. We'll see how my eyes feel at the end. Andrew pointed out that you can see a little bit of image retention still right there because the screen hasn't done a full refresh. Is there I forget what device it was recently that had like a dedicated screen refresh button, which I thought was pretty handy. But at this point, with this thing, it seems like I'll just have to, I'm sure that there's some setting to do that. Okay, that's some sort of quick settings floaty bubble thing. I'm sure you can disable that, which I would very much like to do. I don't know why all of these phone companies making software think that people want little bubbles floating around. Surely you want quick access to our services over the other ones. No, I don't. This is kind of an interesting configuration of icons at the bottom here. We got, oh, is that the screen refresh? There it is. So there is a screen refresh button, always accessible if I open an app. Yeah, nice, all right. You did it, Books. I knew you could. And then we got the typical Android home button, back button, multitasking. Is this the settings? Oh, this is a quick settings. Interesting. I think I remember this. The Books tablet that I did back in the day also had this like kind of quick settings things that could pop up. Switch refresh mode. One thing that we're seeing a lot with these smaller e-paper devices is, well, and larger tablets as well, is modes that you can trade off screen quality for speed. So here we got HD quality. Ooh, that does look a little sharper than whatever we were, I guess we were on speed mode. Speed mode definitely looks worse. I mean, you're not gonna get like astoundingly amazing visuals on the 824 by 1648 display. And on the 6.13 inch screen here, that equates to about 300 PPI in black and white mode. If you're in color mode, as we are right now, it's only 150 PPI. Our labs team pointed out in their testing that it's 150 PPI in color mode. That's not the case for devices that have the Gallery 3 display. Now, apparently there are some other trade-offs, but you can have that 300 PPI pixel density while also having color. So I don't know, I'm not gonna judge the choices they make. I mean, actually I will, that's my whole job here. I guess I didn't notice here that you can kind of switch between the recommended settings, the fast refresh settings, and that'll change these settings down here, or you can have fully custom. Suffice to say, there's a lot of depth here and you can play around until you find something that like looks pretty good to you. So I'm not gonna dive too much into the custom settings, but just know there's some color here. But it's interesting that color e-paper devices have become a thing, because part of the whole appeal of having a device like this is that you have a worse screen so that you are not tempted to use it for things that you would use your normal phone for. Which is why I think that these guys listen to me. And maybe they were working on this device before I expressed in a video that, like, you know, the solution to this whole attention problem is not having a minimalist phone that forces you into like this little box. You can only do some things with your devices. It's up to you, really. It's a self-control thing. It's not so much like, oh, the hardware's to blame. So maybe they were working on this before I said that, but you know, time could be non-linear. Have you seen Arrival? If you haven't, why not? Go watch it right now. I'm just kidding, after this. So basically, I like that these guys are saying with this device, you cannot use it as your normal phone if you care about your normal phone having the ability to call people and text people via traditional methods, which I think most people, even though we barely use that anymore, most people still want that as part of their phone. So you're not gonna use this as your phone. You're gonna use it as an Android device. Like, for example, you can use it for maps and it'll work. It's got GPS. In fact, it's got assisted GPS, which uses data to help with the GPS positioning. Funny enough, Maps is not installed on this device, so I'm gonna install it. I'm finding that some of the taps aren't really like registering. Some of the kind of slower responsiveness here may also be due to the fact that the chip that we're running on here is a Snapdragon 6350, which, if you know anything about Snapdragon, you're gonna know that that's not the flagship. And speaking of performance, our labs team ran some testing on the CPU here, and interestingly, they could not run the standard mobile Geekbench setup that we use, but they were able to run Antutu, where the Books Palma 2 Pro scored 212,863, which, for context, seems to be around the ballpark of a Samsung Galaxy A16 and less than a quarter of the score of a Red Magic 10 Pro. Now, that's according to numbers on Antutu's website. So you're not dealing with a incredibly fast, incredibly powerful chip here. However, I'm in some kind of mode that's making the refresh less than inspiring, although for an e-ink display, I mean, I have used much, much worse. I mean, like, look at this. This is like, you know, it's like using a slightly slower OLED display, not OLED, but you know, traditional display. I do want to just like go into like the fast refresh. Ooh, what? So fast refresh brought more color in and more contrast. That looks way better. And it's much more responsive. More color and more responsive. All right, let's see what this stylus experience is like. With the InkSense Plus. Oh, stylus. Do you want to display handwriting functions? Yeah. Oh, okay. So now the stylus is working like my finger. That's all I've ever wanted. Stylus fingers. Kids mode. Free Mark. What is this? So this Free Mark app appears to be something where you can either enable handwriting mode and then you can like draw on your screen and make notes, and then you can save the screenshot and then that'll be there for you to save or to send it to somebody, or you can enable using mode and then now it's just acting like your finger. That's kind of cool. I actually like that. That might be very useful if you're kind of going through documents or something and you wanna use it, turn pages, and then I'm gonna enter notes mode and circle something, save it, goes away, go back to using mode. That's pretty cool. Nice one, Books. So the InkSense Plus has 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. That's kind of the standard thing you hear. Got a shortcut button on top that I'm guessing is customizable. I gotta say, there's something about using Android e-paper devices, especially in some apps. It seems like some apps can really take advantage of the advances in refresh rate that have been made with this technology, and other apps like are not optimized for it. Using the settings app where you can't scroll and see, like I can't peek at what I'm gonna see under there. I scroll and then I have to accept what's gonna show up, and it's like just like that. That is very frustrating to use. So I feel like priority number one, I don't know, maybe, don't listen to me, but if it was me, priority number one would be making it so that I can scroll and like not have to scroll in and wait, scroll, wait, scroll, wait. I just realized when you scroll, full refresh, it goes a whole page down, even whether you like do a lot or do a little. It goes one page down. You can't like go in increments. Oh, change it. There's the Notes app. Okay, we're in color mode. And how does this feel? The feel is kind of nice. It does not feel like a normal display. There's a little bit of scratch to it. I wouldn't say it's nearly as paper-like as the Remarkable screen, or like something with a paper-like screen protector. No free clout. Take that out. Editor, leave that in though. Whoa, whoa, look at that. Look at that delay. It's processing. It's like, wait, where are you going? Take me with you. No. My question is, why can't they put like a little bit better of a processor in there? I mean, it's probably like one of the most expensive parts, if not the most expensive, but like, that's a little frustrating. If I erase everything that I did, if I erase everything I've ever done, well, it's still, wow, that's taken a while. It was something about that tool. Very responsive with like a more basic kind of, this is a ballpoint pen in green. And it's gone. Every time you expect an eraser just to erase the part of like part of what you're doing. This is like, seems to be a theme with these e-ink devices. It's like, you never know when you go to erase. Oh, here we go. There's different modes here. Lasso eraser. Oh, is this gonna be it? Yes, there we go. So there's a different eraser mode where you can erase part of it. Anyway, there's a decent amount of depth here in the amount of tools that you can have. It's that time. Even though it is an e-paper display, it has a pretty good color display. Oh, look at that. Is that how a video is gonna look? I think so. We have no choice but to Crab Rave. So far, I'm pretty happy with how much like a normal Android device using this feels. Now we are in fast refresh rate mode. So the colors could be a little bit better than this. I'm guessing it's capable of that. But I think if you go into that like more high color fidelity mode, then it's gonna start flickering. I don't know if I even wanna do this, guys. Sounds like a Tamagotchi. Yeah, those speakers are not good. I don't know what else to tell you. You're not gonna get a device like this for the speakers. The speakers are there if you really need to watch a video that somebody sent you and it's got sound. You can play the sound. You can play the sound, but it's not gonna sound good. Now, playing video is actually how our labs team did the battery discharge test, and it lasted 6 hours, which is not very long. For a phone. These days, you're expecting it to have more like all-day battery life. However, this display, this kind of e-paper display, the way that it displays things is by moving physical particles around on the display. So it's gonna take more energy to play video continuously than one of these other traditional displays that are geared towards playing video. Now brace yourself, because once they discharged the battery completely, they did a full 0 to 100 battery charge test using our standard 45 watt charger. However, the Books Palma 2 Pro did not care how much wattage it was being fed, because it only wanted to use 10 watts. And so it took 3 hours and 17 minutes to charge the 3,950 milliamp hour battery. And that's just too long, I'm sorry. Now, that is playing video. As I said, it takes a lot of battery. When you're doing normal e-ink, e-paper type stuff, people who've been using this, posting online about it, or talking about a week of battery life, possibly more. So you won't have to charge it for 3 hours that often, or ever, if you kind of like do some power sipping, charging in the middle of the day. But it is something that you will have to be aware of, that like if you're like, oops, I forgot to charge, you can't just like do a quick charge. Like, it's gonna take a while. You're gonna be there for a while. Do some reading. Now, against all recommendations, devices like these are putting cameras on board. I shouldn't be sassy like that. Like I said, it's nice to have a device like this that can do anything that a Android device could do, just poorly, just to have it, you know, because then we have it. Say cheese. Got this 16 megapixel camera, and now I'm doing this is my standard photo test. I don't know if you've seen me do this before, Bill.
Oh yeah.
And I won't be able to tell what those look like until the editor gets them. So you let me know in the comments how they look. Probably not great. It's not lagging horribly. Like it's to the point where I can do it and I don't feel like I'm getting sick. There's a selfie cam button, but there's no selfie cam on this device. It's just taunting me. It's like, remember, this is not a phone. We talked about this. I'm happy to see that Chrome supports kind of smooth scrolling instead of like jumping down by pages. You know, in some ways, despite me saying that the way forward, the way to not have brain rot is it's not a hardware solution, despite me saying that. Using this thing, I kind of want to use it as my phone. The minimal phone was like a very distinct experience. It was like, listen, you have a problem, okay? It was Android, it ran Android. So it, you know, could do some stuff like this, although it had its own skin on it. You could still install apps and try to use it like another kind of Android phone. But it was still just kind of clunky. This, with the high refresh rate and the color and the familiar settings menus and stuff, instead of like Minimal's own sort of like custom skin, this felt pretty good. So in some ways, I'm a little sad that this does not have the capability to make phone calls or do text messages, which I still sometimes do, I admit it. Now that said, despite this very much feeling like using a normal Android device, these companies are still putting very weak hardware in here. It does have 128 gigs of storage to start, and you can actually expand that up to 2 terabytes with the SD card combo SIM tray thingy. It's got that weak CPU we talked about. It's only got 8 gigs of RAM, which is now in 2025, not very much for a phone. And so for a daily driver, it probably would still be frustrating. And then we're back into this whole like, do you want your phone to be frustrating? Maybe you want your phone to be frustrating so that you use it less. But again, I don't think it's a hardware issue. I think it is a self-control thing, and I think it's also a platform thing. We need to make these platforms less brain rotty, because I don't want to use a crappy phone. Especially for $400, which is like, you can get a pretty decent budget phone for around that ballpark these days. So it's $400 for the Books Palma 2 Pro. It's $46 for the Books InkSense Plus, which I will say, I liked the experience of that, you know? Taking this on the go, taking notes, annotating your screen, saving it, reading, and I've said this on other videos, and I apologize to anyone who's about to hear this, but I already read ebooks on my phone, on my regular phone, in dark mode, okay? So reading on an paper screen this small, I'm fine with it. I'm also fine if you subscribe to ShortCircuit. Hey, if you are interested in watching another video, perhaps you could consider watching a previous video hosted by me, which is the Remarkable Paper Pro Move, which is $450. Books Palma 2 Pro, Books Palma 2 Pro. Open up Books and give it a go. When you're reading a Books, everything is so fine. Just don't get it all the way to the end of the line.